Well, hello there everybody. I hope that the apocalypse is treating you all well. Sorry for the delay in getting this video out, just stuff and life. But we're back and hopefully we'll be able to do a list building video a week going forward. Anyway, so some small bits of news. Master of the Fleet is back. So they're doing Armada battle reports again. If you have not watched a Master of the Fleet battle report, now's your chance. They have a new one out. They're relearning the rules. It's all good. And obviously they're Australian and they add a bit of Australian colour in their language, so not for sensitive ears, but great fun guys, great fun video. With the Vassal World Cup qualifiers are now open, so if you go to the forums, I'll put a link in the description. Right now you need to get 21 points out of 3 games in order to qualify, or you need to play 5 games and you'll qualify. There are limited amount of slots, and this is the thing, they're thinking, this is a World Cup, I'm not good enough. Do you know how you get good enough? You play some games. Now, fair play for the Polish and the Italians who managed to get some games in real life, and I know when some Americans are getting some games in. New Zealand, if you're there, you've beaten the virus once again and you get to play. But if you're in lockdown, or if your game store isn't open, or if your community is very small, like my one, Galway has like 3 active players, active in quotation marks, then Vassal is great. Tabletop tournament is also great. We've got the Australian New Zealand Nationals on at the moment, being played over Tabletop Simulator. The main thing is get some games virtually if you enjoy it. And don't be worried about losing, don't be worried about getting your ass kicked. You know why there's the criteria of play 5 games to qualify for the Vassal World Cup? Because one year it took me 10. I didn't even get the points at that stage. They just took pity on me. And I think the 5 game limit is so they don't have to deal with 15 battle reports from this idiot. Now, I have qualified in 3 games this time. I'm very happy with that. But that is due to a long, long string of getting my ass kicked. So go out, get your ass kicked, learn. Don't bitch about what the other guys do. I do it all the time. Don't do that. But figure out why they won. Ask for advice. Most people would be like, well, I think you applied over here. Thanks to my 3 opponents who helped me qualify for some great games. And we tried out 1 or 2 of the lists from the channel, as well as some utter rubbish that shouldn't be legal. Anyway, so I think that's all the news. There are some new battle report channels whose names I've forgotten. Ion Radio is a good battle report channel. Always Be Navigating will be back when there's some real tournaments, I'm sure. So shout out there. They are a good place to go for battle reports. Anyway, I'm going to link Master of Fleet Clone Wars video in the end of this video. So if you want to know what's coming in Clone Wars, they're a good place, as is Steel Strategy, as is many others. But I think if you're looking for a catch up on everything all in one place, the Steel Squadron video or the Table Talk from Master of the Fleet is well worth it. Anyway, back to this video. So we got a question from Bill Robertson. I want to see an MC80 Liberty-centric list. Now, I wasn't fully sure if that was the whole, the MC80 Liberty. If I was any good, there'd be like a thing here, there won't be. Or the title, the MC80 Liberty. So I've done one for Mon Cairn, which I think is the best of the titles, and I've done one for the Liberty title. Now, let's talk about Mon Cairn. Mon Cairn is fantastic. There are there are loads of ways of limiting people's defensive tokens in this game. Mon Cairn is the best. beyond a shadow of a doubt, because it works so well against everything that isn't a flotilla, basically. You want to evade with your CR90, well, you're not redirecting. Same with MC30s. Your Glad can either redirect or brace. Your giant ship can either redirect or brace. Your Quasar is in for a bad day, even if I get no accuracies. You know, the Moncairn is really good. So let's start with the Moncairn list. So we're gonna go with the battle cruiser. It just gives that extra long bit of punch, and the main problem with it also has nicer flak, and the main problem with MC80s is demonstrated by this meme. You can fit so much squadron damage in this side arc, so much, and that is a huge problem. MC80s generally don't die that much. Onager being an exception from long range in the side arc, one-shotting them can mathematically happen, but generally it's something comes in to that side arc and you've one redirect, and that thing is normally always squadrons. So we're going to keep that in mind with both of these builds. Anyway, back to the list. So we'll go with battle cruiser. It's got the slightly better flak, and this is why I was talking about the squadrons. It's got 2 black, which is more than the Star Cruiser, which, as we can see, has just 1. That's really the only difference, is the dice setup, and the dice setup in the front arc and the flak. So the flak is slightly better, and for that we're paying a decent premium for an extra red dice. So like you got 103 versus 96. So for that extra black dice and the switch to red, you are paying, counting James, you're paying 7 points. It's not inconsiderable. But if we're going that, we want gunnery teams. The reason why is we want to be swatting those small ships, you know, reaching out and touching them from the very early stages. Engine techs are almost essential. Almost essential. Now, if you're building a Moncairn Exodus fleet, maybe you have auxiliary shield teams. But the engine techs has that dual role here. Firstly, it's a defensive thing. I need to get away. I am now a speed 4. No other large ship in the game is speed 4. I am special. I am the MC Liberty. This is the thing I can do that nobody else can do. So from a defensive way, I'm getting away, fast, I'm nimble, dodging, keep dodging Homer. The MC80 can do that. The second thing is offensive. The extra speed gets you there, and if you fail to kill by 2 hull points, you just double ram him. Double ram him and he's dead. It is the most infuriating thing to have a ship disappear to a double engine ram off a battle cruiser, but it's so effective. Like, this is the thing, you just need to get 2 hull damage on quite enough, 2 to 3 hull damage on a number of small ships, and then just bumpa, and it sets up tricks with stuff like stations, stuff like that. Engine techs, unless you have a plan that's specifically focused around the other upgrades, engine techs is where it's at. So then officer. So we're going to go with strategic advisor this time. I don't know how well strategic advisor is going to fare after the past tokens. So actually, let's be more cautious. So let's say strategic advisor is not going to work for us this time. We are going to go with something different, actually. So, like, strategic advisor is all well and good, but again, we don't know whether if you're going to play now before whatever is coming with those pass tokens, and I have no idea. Strategic advisor. After that, we probably, this is the thing, we probably want something that helps us stay alive. We're going for a decent build. We're going with a decent bid on this one, so I don't think Bail Organa. I think we want our good friend Lando. Like, they get the big hit in, you know, we want to reduce it down. It might be worthwhile here. Okay, so leading shots, because we don't have no other dice fixing, and that's what the one blue in the side arc is for. But we want to be kind of able to try and ensure those reds do something. We're going with the gunnery team because we're long range, reaching out and punching. H9s, we want to be able to auto kill flotillas, and that's why the red dice is slightly better. And then we'll go with linked turbo laser turrets for a tiny bit more dice fixing. And again, squadrons coming to our side, 4 black. How are you doing? Or 3 black and a blue because we've leading shots. Or 2 black, a red and a blue because we've leading shots and we've the linked turbo laser turrets for all the fixing. And then, because we want those extra defensive tokens to keep this thing alive, agate. And then it reminds me that, in fact, something that I saw somebody else do, I think it was Trudinus, it might have been Schmitty, I'm fairly sure it's Trudinus, expert shield text. So you can give yourself an extra redirect, you've got expert shield text, you've kind of got a mini Durlin. So that is probably better than Lando, because a big hit is going to do us damage, but we should be able to brace. Should be able to do all that. The expert shield text will stop that click, 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 click damage. Okay, so, and then the rest of the list. So, going back to this, so what we really want to do is kind of like first last. So we have a small bit of a bid, and then we have 3 torpedo corvettes. They have nothing on them. They're fine. They don't need anything on them. They're grand. But we will, to one, we'll add an advanced transponder net. So this is, they've got their intel. They're coming into your side. What are you going to do? Your small bit of fighter cover that we're going to include is going to try and save the situation. So we're going to put 1 on a hammerhead torpedo, and then we're going to add 2 transports. So what we're doing here is we're going to a 6 activation list, but a chunky 6 activation. And we're going to add another advanced transponder net onto one of those flotillas. The reason why we're doing that is, okay, so we can have the hammerhead separated out and the flotilla separated out if we want. And we've a throwaway flotilla that we can just put in front of the battle cruiser if we want. That we can use as an air brake that's also stopping those squadrons. And we're also just handing out tokens to keep everybody going. They'll also command our squad ball. So here we're going to stick with the 4 ace limit that's due, and we're going to go Shara. We're going to go Tycho in classic style, and then we're going to go Nora, and then we're going to go Dutch. So the reasoning behind Shara, she's good against a bunch of squadrons. She'll try and hold her own and try and deal some damage back. Under the black flak dice with linked turbo laser turrets, maybe we kill a critical squadron. Tycho can engage during the squadron phase. If he's still alive, he just pops off back to the station and goes wherever he wants. So that he can, if they don't have intel, he can get wherever he needs to tie up the critical squadrons. So they can't tie him down. They have to kill him. And with a scatter, that's hard. Then Nora and Dutch. Okay, they are heavy. but they both have 2 braces, they're both less than 20 points, and they're both 6 hull. Your advanced transponder net stops Intel getting around that. This is a 66 point fighter ball. Now, it could be a big ball. Okay, if your squadron meta is all Sloan and they are tearing through you, go with a big ball instead. So big Shara 3 X-Wings, done. You know, QED. That will hold them. But this is a small bit faster with the A-Wings if you need to get them somewhere. And it will do a bit more punch to your opponent if they have no squadrons. As well as that, Dutch is just a lovely if you need to lock down something in place and it doesn't have scatter, he can get it done. You know, oh, somebody is planning to escape my flak, pop, I'll go in there and stop that. Now, have we added everything? Anything? Oh yes, Moncairn. We forgot Moncairn. So, Endeavour is grand, does what it says on tin. Because of the timing, it can't do anything interesting. We'll look at the Liberty list in a bit. Moncairn Defender can only pick 1 defense token. It's massive. Mon Calamari Exodus, please, 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 please let its points go down in the upgrade pack. Please, please. I love the idea of this. I just try to make it work, and it doesn't do enough for the, because you're looking at a 10-point investment at least for 2 engineering. You know, and you've got conditionals. You know, it's no good. Anyway, objectives. Most wanted. Yeah, we can pick the most wanted ship, hunt it down. This list is about finding your battle that you want to fight and nothing else. And by the way, you want to pick first with this thing. There is no question. You want to pick first. Asteroid Tactics. We've got a small fighter ball. We're adding the small, durable Exoguts fighters. But, more to the point, we can land on asteroids and ignore them with the battlecruiser, and we can use it to agate, land on an asteroid, get that token back that we agated. By the way, pro tip, remember your agate defense token. I fought an entire battle without one last night. This is why you play more games, to knock off that rust. And lastly, infested fields, again, gives us that obstacle control, gives us that anti-squadron. You know, look back at my previous videos for what I think of infested fields. I think we need to write a ballad of the glory of infested fields. Okie dokie do. So, right, then, because we weren't fully sure about the question, let's add the Liberty. So in this one, we're going to go with a Star Cruiser. Now, we still want to stick with the whole. With this, Liberty allows you to move squadrons with a ship that isn't really a squadron pusher. So what we want to do here is we just want to keep it to combat ships. Chunky, well-upgraded combat ships. So in order to do that, in order to make use of Liberty, we're going to go with GARM. Then, in order to maximize the squadrons, that we're going to do something silly. So normally your choices here are Kicking and Shoaling, gunnery teams, and maybe veteran gunners, but I don't know why you wouldn't spend the point on Kicking and Shoaling if you've got one MC-80. However, we're going to go with flight controllers. So those 2 squadrons we're pushing, we're going to push them a lot. Okay, let's add the Liberty title. Now, this is the thing why I normally wouldn't. We're putting 9 points. So realistically, what you can do is you can add those extra 9 points onto the squadrons, because that's what you're spending on them. And then, to make sure we maximize it, going with 8R Talon. 8R Talon, boys and girls. 8R Talon. So whatever squadron you pick gets to go again. So, you know, they had better be chunky squadrons, people. So then we are going to go with our engine techs because it's essential, and we're already being silly enough with this. We are going to go with heavy ion emplacements. Are we going to go with heavy ion? I really want to go with heavy ion emplacements. We should go with leading shots. We 100% should go with leading shots. The build says heavy ion emplacements. We should go with leading shots. Okay, looking back, flight controllers is, yeah, well, we're going whole hog. Okay, so this is a very speculative build. Then we're going with XI7s. It's a great upgrade, you know. It does a lot, and we don't have Moncaron. And then we'll go with H9s for the automatic kill on those. So we had a feline-based disconnect. The cat needed food. But yeah, this is a much more speculative build of the MC80. This is more, let's see what happens. Anyway, let's try and even that out with some good stuff. So we'll go with a CR90A, Jaina's Life, best title in the game, and we will add a Tornfar. So we got all the blue dice on the Star Cruiser. We have some blue dice fixing, and Jaina's Light for we can safely hide on asteroids close to the MC80, and we can fire from hiding behind it. We can keep up with it, and then we'll just go our good old turbo laser reroute circuits. Okay, so then we want another ship that gives a bit of punch. So we'll throw in a trusty Torpedo Frigate. If you want something dead, it will do its absolute best. Going with ordnance experts to try and keep it keep it accurate. We'll go with assault concussion missiles. So this will combo with our heavy ion emplacements. Hit the shields, hit the shields, hit the shields. And then we'll throw admonition. Try and keep it alive. Okay, so those are our ships. We've got no dedicated squadron pushers. So what we want to do here is 2 hard-hitting non-rogues. So Dutch and Wedge. You know, Dutch and Wedge. Dutch locks it down. Wedge shoots it with 7 dice. Potentially under Tornfar because he's attacking an activated squadron. He's getting the extra dice from flight controllers, and he's got Tornfar. And then we want the best rogues for anti-fighter killing to back it up. So we'll go with Lando and Dash. And you've got your 8R Talon. So either if you're going to go first, maybe you want to lock down another squadron, you can unactivate Dutch. If you want Wedge to basically, if you're already in an activated fighter ball, you can 8R Talon Wedge. Now what you can also do is you can do it to Lando into a flotilla early on, and then the squadron phase, he kills the flotilla. Because you can double use his ability to prevent that flotilla scattering. Now, we do want one other officer that I'd completely forgotten, so we put Ahsoka Tano on the MC30 simply because of the GARM tokens the MC80 is generating. Ahsoka is just fantastic. And then, because we don't have gunnery teams, we can go advanced gunnery on this thing. So it can go bloop, bloop, twice with its front arc. No one wants that, so hopefully they won't pick it. And then we're going to go with our Asteroid Tactics and our infested fields again. Because again, lower type squad ball. Anyway, so that's it for this week. Again, sorry about the delay. Hopefully, Bill, this is what you're looking for. If you're not, let me know. I could have done an Endeavour base list as well, but Endeavour really wouldn't be the key or the crux or the linchpin of any video we do or any list we do, so therefore we haven't. And Mine Karen Exodus Fleet, I think, is a trap. So we've got 2 lists for the MC-80 Liberty. Again, we're going to link to Master the Fleet. Never watched them, go watch them. They are definitely entertaining. Anyway, everyone have a lovely time, and comment in the video if you wanted a list built for you. Alright, have a good one.